Southern Living, and this is going to be one of my SHEDWARS videos. This is my raised planter that I used last year. So it has, on the bottom, it has a layer of last year's dirt. I put chicken manure on it, some shredded paper, some broke up pieces of sticks, and some leaves for nitrogen. So that's what I've composted it with. And now I'm going to add some topsoil. I noticed that there is something coming up from last year, so I'm not going to cover that. I have a volunteer. I'm going to work around that right there. There's two little green things coming up. I do not recognize the leaves at this time, but I will try to figure that out as it grows up. Miley, I don't need you up here, baby. Get down. Miley, down. Down, Miley, down. Okay, so I have decided to purchase Scott's topsoil. It's about $2.50 a bag. Now you're saying, why are you buying the cheap topsoil? Well, this topsoil was actually put out by Miracle-Gro. If you look at the back where the address is, this topsoil is also put out by Miracle-Gro. I used it last year and it worked just fine, and I had plenty of plants, so I think it should be fine. So I'm going to add these two to the top of this bed, but try to work around these two volunteers that are coming up because I want to find out what they are. So here I go. So I didn't bring a knife or the seeds I intended to plant, so I will have to stop it and go get those. This is going to be my first planting outside this year, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to need both bags of this topsoil because this has settled during the winter time, and so I wanted to put a nice rich layer of soil. See how dark that is? And I think two bags is going to be perfect for here. Now this planter back behind me has strawberries in it, which I did actually compost around the strawberries with leaves to protect them, and they seem like they're fine. And we did actually buy strawberries as a plant, and we did not do them by seed, and because I've heard they're really hard to grow by seed. So we will probably end up purchasing 2 or 3 more plants to add to that. Last year I had some other things planted in this bed behind me, but this year I believe that it's going to be just strictly a strawberry bed. Now this bed right here is going to have multiple different plants in it. I love this raised planter because you don't have to get on the ground. It seemed like so far it's been no predators, no weeds, nothing. The only thing coming up in here is something from last year. So in here last year I had radishes, carrots, lettuce, and cilantro. So it has to be probably one of those 4. Remember to bring the proper tools when I do gardening. At least could have had a knife to cut it open with. However, on this side I have to be more careful because I have to make sure I don't cover up these little volunteers. Work around these two here. I do want to find out what it is. So my tip here is to start your composting either in the fall or in the early winter, or at least the early spring. That way you can have time for your chicken manure to sit on your plants, because your chicken manure needs to sit for 3 months. Now if you have rabbit manure, that can be used right away. It's considered a cold compost, I believe they call it. All right. So I believe that I have finished this one, and this is all I'm going to add to this one. I'm just going to run in and get the seeds that I intended to plant in here, and so I'm going to stop it for... Okay, so I'm going to plant in here cilantro, sage, and carrots, and a little bit of the lettuce that I got from John at Will It Grow, because this planter you can plant multiple things in it. Now, since the cilantro is the tallest of the plants, I'm going to plant the cilantro. I'm going to plant the cilantro on the back. Then I'm going to do a line of carrots. Then I'll put the lettuce on one end and the sage on the other end. So I'm going to basically do it in rows. So I have 2 different kinds of cilantro. So I'm going to do, half is going to be organic seeds of change, slow boat cilantro. The other half is going to be heirloom cilantro coated. So I have these 2 different seeds, and I'm going to do half and half. So about right here, we're going to call the middle. So we're going to do half one and half the other, and we can see which one we actually like better. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the heirloom cilantro. Oh wow, this cilantro is actually blue. I don't think I've ever planted any that was blue before. Interesting. Okay. All right, so it says to go down a quarter inch. It takes 7 to 10 days to germinate, and then it talks about the row spacing. Okay, so I know these get pretty big, so I'm going to go ahead and double seed them though, just to make sure. So I'm going to do this one a quarter of the way down, I know actually how big these get from last year and previous years. This is not my first rodeo with cilantro. All right, there's some cilantro, 1/4 inch down. I usually do 2 seeds in each hole. If they're too close, I can always pluck one. And one more right here. There's a few in here that aren't, they're not really full seeds, like they're broke or something. I'm gonna throw those out. So I'll still have a few seeds left. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add these back to the pack. And I will probably try to laminate this or something like that and mark it. And I need to do that quick because it looks like it's about to rain or something. All right, so I did three holes there. And this one looks a little bit more like what I'm used to, this one. These seeds are actually in better condition. Some of the other ones were broke. Let's see, okay, so there's the first one, the second one, and the third one. Okay, so there's my cilantro. Okay, and now the sage. I think I planted sage last year, but for some reason it didn't come up. So we're gonna try again on sage. Now this packet's from Dollar Tree, so there's really not a lot in here. So since there's such a small amount of sage, I'm sorry Fabio the rooster decided to throw a fit right now. So here's my sage. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the sage in this section. I don't know why he's throwing a fit over there. Oh my lord. Wow. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about my chicken babies. Okay, that's the sage. Alright. And then, oh, that's right, I was going to do the carrots in the middle. Alright, so right here, I'm going to do a row in the middle of the carrots. These are dangerous carrots. Sorry about the big fit throwing over there with the chickens. I want to see what's going on with that. I have no clue. Have to be careful of the little section here. I'll put one a little bit close to the side because they're not too big. Okay, and a few more here. As you can see, I'm not the most technical gardener here. I don't get all crazy with measuring and stuff like that. Semi-reckless gardening here. Okay, just gonna cover that up. And a couple of cilantro seeds fell out, so we're just gonna leave them there. All right, so the last thing I have to do in this little corner over here is going to be my lettuce seeds from Will It Grow. So we have this little section here where the volunteers are. So I'm just going to kind of poke holes around here. Now this lettuce can be planted pretty close together. So I'm not too worried about the spacing on this. There was a lot of them last year that were real close together and it was not a problem at all. And this lettuce that he sent me, I'm not exactly sure what the variety is, but he sent it to me twice already. And it's awesome. It's like a light green, a dark green, kind of a red color, and it's a cut and come again, so you can cut it, make your salad that you're making for that night, and you can just use it as you go along. Okay, you're gonna have tacos one night, so you just come out and you take a little bit, and you just keep doing that. Now, when it gets really, really hot, like July, it will actually start to bolt. Also, the cilantro. People think you have to plant cilantro in the summer, but according to In My Gardener, you can plant cilantro when it's cold outside. I did this last year, and I had the most beautiful, beautiful cilantro that I've ever had. This was last year, and it was gorgeous. It was so gorgeous. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm just putting different holes here. Not getting overly technical about it. I know that I have good soil, so I'm not overly worried about it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just add both of these cilantros into this one pack, which I know probably most gardeners would cringe at that, but I like to save space. And I actually dropped a couple, so I'm going to have random stuff growing everywhere. But this section should be nice and full of different vegetables and herbs. Let's see, I still have quite a bit of carrots left, so I'm going to put that back in the house. The sage, I think I finished the sage. See, nope, that's just right. Okay, so this can be thrown away. Just gathering my stuff together, so all of this part can be thrown away, and I'll save that part. So I'm done. I got one section planted, much more to go. You guys have a great day. Be blessed. Do something kind, guys.